And welcome back. This half of our program, we are here in the studio with Marie Lee. Marie is the leader of our hearing support group here at Greenspring. Welcome.
Thank you, Susan. I'm glad to be here.
And you are here this morning with some exciting news about some new technology in 2 of our large meeting rooms.
That's right. Greenspring is finally in the loop.
In the loop. And tell us what that means.
We're in the loop. Well, what it means is that the hearing loop system, which is an assistive listening system, has been installed in the Akachink room and in the theater, both in Village Square.
Now, what is a hearing loop system?
Well, as I said, it's an assistive listening device, which actually is for people who have hearing aids with a T-Coil that is activated. And what it does is bring the sound from the sound system directly to someone's hearing device through the T-Coil.
So, as I understand it, if a person has a specific, I don't know how to say it correctly, has a hearing aid that has a T-coil within it, specifically built type of hearing aid, that the loop, the actual wiring that has now been built into these 2 rooms will assist them in hearing directly from the microphone in the room through their hearing aid.
That's right. Actually, it's a very simple system. And you're right, it is. It's a wire loop that goes around the seating area.
Thus, it's called a loop.
Yes, so it's called a loop. It's a wire loop that goes around the seating area, and it's connected to an amplifier. And when the amplifier is turned on, it sends an electric current, a very, very low electric current, which creates a magnetic field. And the magnetic field is picked up by the T-coil, which is in about 75 to 80% of hearing aids nowadays. I'll come back to that.
Okay.
And when it's picked up, when the magnetic current is picked up by the T-coil, the sound from either a movie or a microphone or any other program like a computer that is showing a video of some sort will come directly through that loop to the hearing aid. And all they have to do is flip a switch on their hearing aid to get to the loop. There's no headphones required. There's no additional apparatus. It's universally accepted. It's used internationally. And you know, some people don't want other people to know that they have a hearing loss. And so this is just a matter of getting up there and touching something on your hearing aid or using your remote that came with your hearing device to access the T-coil.
Okay, some questions. Do all hearing aids have this technology?
No, not all hearing aids have this technology. As I mentioned, most hearing aids have a T-coil built in it. Mind you, this is a little coil, maybe about this big, wrapped with copper wire, and it's built into the hearing aid.
How do I know if my hearing aid has this technology?
You need to call your audiologist or check in your instruction manual that came with your hearing device, either your hearing aid or cochlear implant. But the person who can help you the most is your audiologist. The questions to ask are, do I have a T-coil in my hearing aid? Is my T-coil activated?
Okay, so 2 questions there. I might have a T-coil, but my T-coil might not be activated. In other words, the audiologist needs to do something to my hearing aid to activate it.
Yes, and it is, they don't charge you to activate the hearing aid, especially if you go back to the audiologist where you bought your hearing aid. Now, if you go to an audiologist that you've never seen before, that audiologist may charge you a fee to activate your T-coil. But the best thing to do is to go back to the audiologist where you bought your hearing devices and say, I would like to have my T-coil activated. And there's no charge for that. Also, if you're buying new hearing aids For sure, now that you live at Greenspring, and now that Greenspring is showing an initiative to put in the hearing loop systems in their venues, you want to make sure that you buy a hearing aid with a T-coil, and that is an active T-coil.
So, find out, does my hearing aid have a T-coil? Is it activated? And question number 3 is, how do I turn it on?
Right.
Because you may have it and it may be activated, but your audiologist may need to teach you how to turn it on and how to turn it off.
Exactly.
Because when it's turned on, you will only be able to hear what's going on, what's coming through that
sound
system, not what's going on in the room around you.
Well, it is possible, and in some hearing aids, in my hearing devices, which are cochlear implants, I have a mix. So I have 70% T-coil when I access the T-coil and 30% other sound.
So that's something you'd really need to talk about with your audiologist.
Yes, you need to talk about with your audiologist. So there is a T setting on most hearing aids. There could be an M/T setting on some hearing aids, which would give you both the T-coil and the other.
So now you're getting really technical, Marie.
Well, yes. But the best thing is there are some hearing aids that the T-coil goes on automatically when it senses that magnetic field.
Okay.
And
so a couple of other questions. Right now, in these 2 venues, in the Akatink room and the theater, we have FM receivers. Will those no longer work? Because a lot of people bought those receivers for themselves and they're thinking, well, we have this T-coil thing now, will the FM receiver not work anymore?
The FM receiver will still work.
And this is the FM receiver?
This is the FM receiver that I actually have helped people to purchase.
And they will still work just fine?
And they will still work just fine. You just need to do the same thing you've been doing, put it on the correct channel for that room. We have 4 venues at Greenspring that have the FM system, so it works also. And most people who use this know that the sound only comes through one ear, so it's a mono sound, a monoroll, I guess is what you call it. Now, for people who don't wear hearing aids, people who have a hearing aid without a T-coil, there are a couple of ways that they can access the T-coil and benefit from that technology.
Okay.
And the installer left 10 receivers.
Okay.
Which connect to the T-coil system, to the loop.
Okay.
And will give you the benefit of the sound from the loop.
So this is kind of like an FM receiver, only for the T-coil.
It's for the loop, exactly. It acts as a T-coil. There's no channel on this, you just turn it on. You may hear a loud hum when you first turn it on. It's probably a good idea, even with your hearing device, not to access the T-coil until someone starts speaking or you need to hear what's going on in that room. And these came with a set of headsets, left and right ear. They're already connected, the batteries are in them, they're ready to go. Someone will be making sure the batteries are
and these
active.
Will be available to be borrowed from downstairs?
Yes, there are 5 in the Akatink room and a sign-out sheet in the drawer. The group leader will be responsible for checking those in and out, or someone that they assign to do that. In the theater, there's a little notebook like we've always had to sign in and out, either this device or this device.
Okay.
Now there's one trick with T-coil. For some reason, the T-coil likes to be in a vertical position.
This device we're talking about here?
Yes, but also in hearing aids.
Oh.
You will find that some people have their hearing aids set so that on their ear it hangs vertically, it hangs horizontally. If it has a T-coil in it, the audiologist should be making sure that the hearing aid is as vertical as possible when it's on the ear. And I don't know why that is, but for some reason the loop works better when the T-coil is in a vertical position. So using that thought, when you borrow one of the loop receivers and you hold it on your lap, you should hold it in a vertical position. I don't know how this works, but I think if you hold it this way or just rest it on your lap, you may hear a hum as well as the sound that's coming through the loop.
You need to hold it straight up.
So hold it straight up. But we have 5 of these, and we have many more people who have a T-coil in their hearing aid.
And if you're sitting in a room with a T-coil using it, you probably shouldn't be napping, because if you go like this, your T-coil won't work.
Well, it will work, but you'll probably hear a hum.
There you go.
Right. Now, also on some of the older model telephones, you can use your T-coil on the older model telephone, set your T-coil, and you won't hear any hum at all. And that's
Through
for
your
a
telephone.
landline phone.
For a landline phone, you
Right.
might be able to use your T-coil.
Right. Now, for those of
Interesting.
us who like to keep up with technology, there's even another way
Okay.
to access the T-coil, and that is to use your smartphone. So there's an app that's put out by this company called OtoJoy, and you
It's
access
OTOJOY.
and you access the app on your phone. I don't know if you can catch that or not without any glare. And then you plug in this set of earbuds that they developed. Actually, they're called loop buds. And they work just as regular earbuds, so you can use them for regular sound, like listening to your music or whatever. But when you do that and you use the app and turn it on, it connects to the hearing loop that's in either the Academic room or the theater or in looped venues all around the world. So this is another way that you
So
can
this
do
is without having a T-coil, without having a hearing aid at all.
and without using one of these. You can
That you could-
purchase these loop buds.
And access it through a smartphone.
Exactly. So
Through an-
that is the wave of the future, I think.
And you could buy one of these through probably online through this
Yes.
company, OTOJOY.
Yes, otojoy.com. I'm not promoting them, but they have a wonderful website if you want to research and learn more about hearing loop technology.
We have 2 minutes as usual. We've talked way too much, but there's one more thing that you quickly want to tell us about, and that's the next meeting of the Hearing Support Group.
Yes.
I'm going to hold this up. I don't know which camera. I think maybe Chuck wants to get this.
Yes, the next meeting is Thursday, July 26th, beginning at 10:30 in the theater, our new looped venue. And we're going to talk about and test the hearing loop system for people who come to that meeting with their activated T-coil. You have plenty of time between now and then to check with your audiologist and get your T-coil activated if it is not. And plus, Greenspring's audiologist, Dr. Gina Cravato, will be there to answer questions about the hearing loop, about the latest technology, about research, and then she's going to take Q&A from people who will ask questions of a general nature. Of course, we don't want people to come and say, you know, the hearing aids that I bought aren't working quite right, and I wonder if you could tell me what I need to do.
Gina will
And
not be there that day to tell you if your hearing aid has a T-coil, and she will not be there to activate your hearing loop.
Exactly. She is there to give us general information, and she is here on Fridays by appointment.
By appointment.
And so the best thing to do is to give her a call and make an appointment for that.
Marie, thank you for coming today, and congratulations on your victory of working to get the T-coil loops installed.
Well, I think it's through the support of all of the residents, especially those who have come to the hearing loss support group, that we realize that we have some technology we can take advantage of.
I think it's exciting.